This is a video presentation of ETRM. It's a NASDAQ listed stock trading our ticker ETRM. Real nice look to this chart since finding a double bottom back in March and in April. Solid base right there around 82 cents. And it's developed a nice upward trend since, regularly making higher highs and higher lows. And I like the way it's riding this 50-day moving average right now. But it's also notable it's taking on a resistance point right around $1.37 or so. That general area has been tough for it in the past. And it's dropping a number of long upper shadows each day, which indicates it's struggling to find the bullish pressure to continue the upward path. But as long as it's riding this 50-day and continuing to make the higher lows, I think this is a chart to keep an eye on for continued upward pressure to see if it's going to eventually bust through and go make that next higher high. I can see they have the MACD histogram bars climbing back towards zero. The 12 and 26 are right in the area of zero, and it looks like a bullish cross is coming. You can see those bullish crosses through there, and again through here have been followed by a nice appreciation in share value. So it's something we want to keep an eye on right now, because holding over top of zero and dropping that bullish cross is a sign that we look for that the trend's going back into bull mode. Pretty neutral reading to the ADX, only registering a 19.5 right now. It's a nice look though with the positive DI breaking through the ADX and the ADX flattening. While it's neutral, all we can look for is an upward move like that to show that the direction is gaining some strength again. The money flow index definitely has had a few dips here and there below 50, but primarily holding the upper half of that indicator. That's a very bullish position. I'm certainly not crazy about this look to the accumulation distribution. You see the AD is making lower lows, and that's something that's pretty typical of seeing those long upper shadows like I just mentioned. So that means even when the stock price is taking on some upward pressure and some buying, selling comes back into the play, and that's what pulls the share price down, leaves that long upper shadow, and tells me that there's some selling going on at the same time. But what I look for now is just for it to hold a base, and again start to show some upward movement to show that the selling pressure subsided and that the bulls are taking control again. And with the shake and money flow down in the red, that also says that selling pressure is outweighing buying pressure, but it is starting to climb upwards a little bit, again giving very early on hints that maybe that selling pressure is dissipating. CCI, a little bit of an upward climb, moving back towards zero, says the stock price is right near its 20-day mean. Full stow, coming out of oversold territory, again still in bear chart territory below 50, but looks like it's gaining some strength and signaling that momentum is starting to build in the play. In the tricks, it's a lagging indicator. I just look for that rotation somewhere in that area, drop a bullish cross, hold around zero, and show the trend's going back into bull mode. You can see with the buying pressure that has come in, the relative strength index is moving through 50. Like the full stow, that tells me that momentum is building in the chart. And what I want to see going forward is to have the RSIs climb a little bit higher, and on any pullback, hold over top of that 50 mark to show that the bullish momentum is staying in the chart. So that's kind of a key point for me right now, and something that I always look for, because you can see through here, when that happened, all three components got above 50, real nice rise in share price. And even though it came through here, in the 7, the black line dipped back below 50, the 14 and 21, the red and gold lines, essentially held the upper half of that indicator, stayed in bull mode, and when the 7 came breaking back through, see the share price took off again. So that's why it's important for me to see all three of those components, especially the red and gold lines, holding over top of that 50 mark. So there's certainly some signs that some bullishness is coming into this play to make another move after pulling back from this high of $1.76 in October. As I mentioned, nice upward trend, higher lows, higher highs, developing a strong channel. I'll look to this 50-day moving average as a key point. I definitely want to see the share price hold over top of that level as a dynamic support. As a static support, there's a little bit right there around $1.24 down to $1.20. Gets a little bit stronger down here around $1.15. But again, if this breaks through this 50-day and starts coming down, especially if I see an increase in volume, I'd be much more concerned that it's going to do something like this and drop back down and make a new low, although it could pull some strength in that trend line, the 200-day moving average, which would not be a bad thing, but it'd be a much more slower developing chart if that happens. Right now I'm looking for it to hold this 50-day and continue to try and push upward. From a resistance standpoint, as I mentioned, there's kind of an area of resistance right now, where you can see through here the stock price had a difficult time closing above this $1.32 mark, $1.37 as well back here in July, and even back into May. And you can see right now, again, having a difficult time pushing through that level. So I'd kind of have my eyes peeled right at this point, see if it can push through that first level of resistance, because there's not a lot more. There's definitely going to be some up around $1.47, but I think realistically it doesn't start getting a lot heavier until up near $1.60, which is a pretty nice move from Thursday's closing price of $1.33. It's also notable that volume's picked up the last few days, up to 457,000 shares traded on Thursday. Still probably below its 3-month average considering all the volume that was going on in September and October, but it's an uptick over the previous days. which could be signaling that buying interest is picking up again in this play. So there's a lot going on in this chart right now. But overall, it's definitely taking on a bullish trend for the better part of 2013. And we'll look for some of these key spots to hold and see if some of these other key areas can be broken to see if Intermedics is ready to continue this upward path. But as always, it's merely my interpretation of the ETRM chart. Thank you for watching. Trade smart.